Turns out, the healer family isn't the only thing running wild in Bluey. The animation errors do too. 1. The tail that vanished. So, there's this scene in Tradies where Bluey's friend suddenly has no tail. One moment it's there, wagging happily, and the next, gone. Like it just quit the episode mid-shoot, and you can't even focus on the mystery because there's so much else happening. He's got random tattoos on fur. He's wearing shorts for some reason, while everyone else walks around naked. And that mustache? It looks like it crawled out of a villain movie. But really, the tail disappearance steals the show. Where did it go? Vacation? Witness protection? Either way, this dog needs answers. And pants. 2. The chalk that wouldn't stay put. The chaos does not stop there. The chalk seems to have a mind of its own. 1 second, the blue chalk sits on Bingo's right side. Suddenly, it appears on her left like it switched teams. Then Bingo picks up green chalk, yet the drawing comes out bright blue, as if the colors decided to play tricks on her. Even the crayon bucket changes spots between shots like it has legs and is crawling around the pavement when nobody is watching. Either the animators were rushing through the scene, or the entire art set was cursed. Honestly, the second option feels more believable here. 3. Bandit ages in one frame. In Horsey Ride, Bandit suffers what can only be called an instant midlife crisis. His dark head patch, the one he always has, vanishes in the middle of a scene. For a split second, Bandit looks decades older, like the stress of parenting hit him all at once. The worst part? He seems just as surprised as we are, staring ahead like he knows something has gone terribly wrong. Then, the patch is suddenly back, like nothing ever happened. Maybe the animators missed a frame, or maybe Bandit's hairline decided to take a coffee break. Either way, it is hilarious. 4. The shelves that wouldn't stay still. In Bedroom, Bluey's room quietly breaks the laws of reality. At first, there is one small shelf next to her bed. Then, out of nowhere, a second shelf appears like it has always been there. Moments later, the second one disappears again, as if it was never real. The furniture seems to multiply and vanish between shots like it is auditioning for a magic show. Maybe the animators reused the wrong background. Maybe the shelf family is moving in and out while no one is watching. Either way, the room feels less like a bedroom and more like a prank. 5. The sign that learned to flee. In Curry Quest, the airport scene drops a detail so strange you almost miss it. A massive sign hovers above the building, like gravity simply gave up. It is not hanging from wires or supported by anything. It is just floating there, perfectly still, like it belongs in a sci-fi movie instead of a kid's cartoon. Everyone walks by, acting like this is normal airport behavior. Planes take off. People chat. Meanwhile, the sign is silently defying physics above their heads. Either the animators forgot to anchor it, or Bluey's world just unlocked the secret to anti-gravity advertising. 6. The crocodile that cloned itself. In Mobile Phone, a harmless plush crocodile manages to bend the rules of space and time. First, we see Grandpa Morty packing the toy into a delivery box for Bingo. All good so far. But seconds later, the same crocodile also shows up inside Morty's crate like it never left. 2 identical toys in 2 different places at the same moment. Nobody reacts. Nobody explains it. The story just moves on, while this stuffed reptile quietly breaks reality. Either Grandpa Morty owns a secret clone army, or the animators accidentally gave this plush the power to duplicate itself on screen. 7. The orange that chickened out. In that crab game, Bandit launches fruit like he is leading a food fight revolution. Apples fly, bananas spin, but one orange decides it wants no part of this drama. It leaves his hand mid-throw, then simply vanishes before reaching the target. No bounce, no splatter, just gone, like it erased itself from existence to avoid the fight. The rest of the fruit carries on like nothing happened, while this one orange silently retires from the scene. Maybe the animators forgot to finish its path, or maybe this orange had a survival instinct the others lacked. Smart fruit, honestly. 8. The hand that left the scene. In Sheepdog, Bingo leans in to feed Bandit a handful of grass. Everything looks normal until the very next shot, where her hand has completely disappeared. She is standing there, smiling like nothing happened, while Bandit keeps chewing, like he might have swallowed more than just the grass. No hand, no explanation. It is the kind of mistake that makes you pause and rewind, wondering if you imagined it. Maybe the animators lost track of her arm between frames, or maybe Bingo discovered teleportation powers mid-episode and decided her hand would be the first test subject. 9. The dad who learned to hover. In Hotel, Bandit stands in the middle of the room, arguing like any tired cartoon dad. Then the scene cuts, and suddenly his feet are missing. He is floating above the floor, like he unlocked zero gravity mode when no one one was looking. The rest of his body stays perfectly normal, which somehow makes it even funnier. He is just calmly hovering there, mid-discussion, like floating dads are standard in the Bluey universe. A moment later, his feet return as if nothing happened. Either the animators skipped a layer, or Bandit secretly owns anti-gravity shoes we never hear about. 10. The nose that took a break. In the waitress scene, Bluey is busy taking an order when something strange happens. Her nose simply detaches from her face and floats slightly off to the side, like it decided to try life as a solo act. The rest of her face stays perfectly normal, which somehow makes the runaway nose even funnier. It hangs there for a moment, as if considering its future, before snapping back into place like nothing ever happened. Most likely, the animation layers slipped for a frame. Or maybe Bluey's nose just wanted a moment in the spotlight before retiring to her face again. 11. The dirt that refused to stay. In Magic, Bandit digs a neat little hole while the kids watch. Everything looks normal until you realize the dirt itself cannot decide whether it wants to be in the scene. One moment, there's a big messy pile next to the hole. The next moment, it has completely vanished like a cleanup crew rushed in between frames. Then, it appears again, perfectly shaped, like it never left. The whole thing plays out in silence, as if this dirt has its own storyline running parallel to the episode. Maybe the soil quit in protest, demanding a bigger role next season? 12. The shirt that changed its mind. Some episode scenes give the whole Healer family bright blue matching shirts, a sweet little wardrobe choice. But in the middle of it, one shirt suddenly changes color to bright white. It happens fast, like the shirt decided to rebel against the family theme. Nobody notices, nobody comments. The scene continues like this is completely normal. Maybe the animators grabbed the wrong layer, or maybe the laundry department inside the Bluey universe accidentally bleached it mid-shot. Either way, the shirt stands out like it is trying to make a statement. It will not be part of the blue shirt cult anymore. 13. The wall that forgot its color. In cinema, Bandit and the kids buy popcorn against a red wall with movie posters behind them. A few shots later, the same wall has turned purple, and the posters advertise completely different films. It looks like the theater had a massive renovation during the 5 seconds the camera cut away. Nobody seems concerned, and the family keeps talking like walls change color all the time. Maybe the cinema hires the world's fastest painters. Or maybe the animators copied the wrong background art halfway through the scene. Either way, the entire building just casually ignored the laws of continuity. 14. The belly that came and went. The takeaway episode gives Bandit a strange problem. His yellow belly keeps disappearing, then returning, then disappearing again in the same scene. It is there while he is ordering food. It vanishes when he turns around. It reappears while he is talking. The timing feels random, like his torso is shy about being on camera. It is hard to focus on the dialogue when you are busy checking whether his stomach will exist in the next shot. Either the animators forgot to color it in some frames, or Bandit's belly just wanted to remind everyone it controls its own schedule. 15. The face that glitched out. In one episode, Chili's face decides to rebel. Her snout shifts slightly off-center, while the brown patch around her eye jumps to a new spot like it is tired of routine. For a second, she does not look like a cartoon dog anymore. She looks like someone painted her during an earthquake. The moment is quick, but you cannot unsee it once you notice. Maybe the animators sneezed mid-frame. Or maybe the software decided to experiment with abstract art. Either way, Chili spends one glorious moment looking less like a mom in a kids show and more like modern art. 16. The envelope that learned to dance. In dance mode, there is a letter in the background that refuses to follow the rules of physics. At first, it sits completely still on the table. Then, as the music plays, it slowly rises into the air, spins once like it is performing, and drops right back down as if nothing happened. Nobody touches it. No breeze explains it. The scene moves on without any character reacting to the ghost mail show happening 2 feet away. Either the animators forgot to lock the background layers, or the Bluey universe just confirmed the existence of haunted stationary items living among them. 17. The kids who went to the wrong school. In Moms and Dads, there is a quick playground scene where kids run around in the background. If you look closely, some of those kids belong to Bingo's school, not Bluey's. It is the wrong location entirely, yet there they are, acting like they belong. It is not a crossover episode. It is not a dream sequence. It is just the wrong group of kids teleported in by mistake. The main story carries on while the background quietly breaks its own logic. Either the animators mixed up their character models, or the kids figured out inter-school travel off-screen. 18. The moms who spun around. In Shadowlands, Bluey and her friends play the Shady Spot game while their moms relax under a tree. In one shot, the moms face the kids, watching the action like normal parents. Then the camera cuts, and they are suddenly facing the opposite direction like they spun around at lightning speed for no reason. The kids keep talking to them as if nothing changed. The moms just sit there with their backs turned, completely ignoring them. Maybe the animators flipped the background by mistake. Or maybe the moms got tired of parenting for one frame and staged a tiny protest. 19. The fur that wouldn't stay put. During Christmas swim, Muffin's dark facial fur decides to migrate. It usually sits neatly around her eyes, but in one scene, it slips lower, spreading toward her cheek like it is melting under the hot sun. A moment later, it is back where it belongs, as if nothing happened. Muffin keeps playing her game, completely unaware that her own face just shifted shape mid-episode. It is quick, easy to miss, and hilarious once you catch it. Either the animators lost track of her color layers, or Muffin's fur just likes to rearrange itself for dramatic holiday effect. 20. The backpack that defied physics. In one episode, Bingo fills a small backpack with exactly 14 balls. We see it happen. The backpack is full, ready to burst. Then, during the game, she starts pulling balls out of it like a magician's endless scarf trick. Way more than 14 appear, closer to 100, without anyone commenting on it. The bag never changes size. The story carries on like this is normal storage behavior. Either Bingo owns a backpack designed by cartoon physics, or the animators ignored basic math. The result is the same, a tiny bag casually producing enough balls to fill an entire playground. 21. The face that lived twice. In Bob Bilby, Bandit poses for a photo while Bingo holds up the phone. On the real Bandit, his eyes are shut like he blinked at the worst possible moment, but the screen shows something completely different. Bandit with eyes open, smiling perfectly. Two versions of the same dad existing at the same time. One happy, one mid-blink. Nobody mentions it. The scene moves on like alternate universe Bandit is not living inside that phone, watching us all. Either the animators forgot to match the layers, or this is the first sign that Bandit has secretly mastered time travel technology. 22. The lipsticks that wouldn't behave. During the store scene, the makeup display keeps rewriting itself. Lipsticks change colors between shots like they are picking outfits for the day. Some sit neatly in rows, then, a moment later, swap positions like they are playing musical chairs. Even the price tags cannot stay consistent. The numbers switch fonts halfway through the scene, like the store ran out of matching stickers and just grabbed whatever was lying around. The main characters keep shopping, ignoring the chaos behind them. Maybe the animators lost track of the props, or maybe this entire cosmetic section is alive and staging a revolt. 23. The hallway that broke reality. In Yoga Ball, Bingo sprints down the hallway, passes the open door, and keeps going. Then the camera cuts, and she is suddenly back near the door like she never left. The hallway feels like it folded in on itself, trapping Bingo in a time loop. She looks completely normal, like nothing weird just happened. The editors keep the scene moving, pretending the laws of space did not just break apart in the middle of a children's cartoon. Either someone reused the wrong frame, or Bingo secretly unlocked teleportation powers when nobody else in the Healer family was watching. 24. The price tags that made no sense. Back in the store, the price tags become their own mystery. Some products have a tag on every single item, like the staff got paid by the sticker. Others have none at all, leaving shoppers to guess the cost entirely. The same shelf will sometimes swap between both extremes in different shots, full of labels one moment and bare the next. The store owner walks around smiling, like this is perfectly fine retail behavior. Maybe the animators mixed up the background art, or maybe this shop has the most confusing pricing system ever invented in the entire Bluey universe. That's the full list of Bluey moments where reality completely fell apart. Now the big question, do you think these goofs make the show more fun, or do they ruin the magic a little? Type your answer below, because this might split the audience in two.